Sheriff and King 5 law enforcement analyst John Urquhart joining us this evening for the very first time as our analyst. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
First of all, your response to the change in this law. I know a lot of law enforcement really wanted this change for what I just stated, an increase, they said, in crime.
Well, I think it was clearly needed. The law that was written in 2021 was a good attempt on the part of the legislature, but it was flawed, and it just plain didn't work. They changed it in 2023, and that helped a little bit, but there was an initiative that was filed, 400,000 signatures. People really wanted this law changed. So I think the legislature saw the light and enacted it in the law that takes place now.
You've been on the streets, you've been a trooper before, as the sheriff. You've been involved in pursuits.
Many pursuits, yes.
What is that like?
Well, it's like firing a bullet, 4,000-pound bullet down the street with absolutely no control over where that bullet is going. Very, very, very dangerous.
Risky.
Oh, absolutely risky. The San Francisco Chronicle did a really good study here recently, and they found about 3,000 people were killed nationwide in a 5-year span. And the vast majority of those were not the suspect. They were other people. So it's very, very risky.
There are some, including a mom who lost her child after he was being stopped because of expired tabs, ended up being killed by police, who really did not want to see this change. What would you say to someone like her about the change and how she can get her mind around it?
Well, I think she's right. You know, it's all well and good. Society has to decide, is it worth the risk to have a pursuit to catch a bad guy? And maybe it's not really a bad guy at all. And when they make that calculation, they need to think about, what if it's their family that gets killed in this pursuit?
And people need to understand, even though this has been a change in the legislation, departments all have different rules. So explain that to us. Just because this law has changed doesn't mean necessarily in Seattle or King County or Pierce County or Whatcom County, all of a sudden chases are going to happen.
It's not going to be the Wild West out there, we hope. Certainly not in this area. Seattle police have already said that their pursuit policy is going to be more restrictive than state law. And I would expect that the King County Sheriff's Office is going to say the same thing. Certainly when I was sheriff, I had a very restrictive pursuit policy. So the devil's going to be the details in all these other police agencies. And there's going to have to be made subjective decisions, because the law still says that the need to catch the suspect has to outweigh that person getting away. And that's a subjective decision both on the officer, the deputy, his supervisor, and the policy that's written by these police agencies.
They don't have a lot of time to make that decision in the moment.
They
either.
don't.
So, I mean, that's just part of the whole dynamic. I want to change gears because, as you know, there's been yet another shooting outside of Garfield High School. A teenager is in the hospital having been shot multiple times. We heard the mayor and the acting chief Subarar talk about this epidemic of guns, easily accessible, and until we address that issue, we are just not going to see an improvement in public safety. Your response to their comments?
I agree with them 100%. There was also a 17-year-old that was shot and killed in Renton last night, and that suspect is still outstanding. We've got to get a handle on these illegal guns that are on the street if we expect to make any change in the gun violence that's there.
So how do we do that? We've been talking about this for years.
Forever.
Forever?
Yeah. You know, I don't have an answer. I wish I did. What the mayor was talking about was a community partnership today, and that's really the epitome of community policing, when the police department partners with the community to solve community problems. That's, I guess, the main thing that has to happen. And part of that is just the community being aware, if somebody has a gun, call us. Call us, and so we can do something about it.
Thank you for your perspective. We really appreciate it. And